Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guide. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the video, guys. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day, chilling with me, talking about one of the best epic nukers, if not the best epic nukers in the game. I said 5 days ago in the community tab here, I said, if you can only pick one epic nuker, who are you going with out of these four? These are my four favorites, but there's a lot of others that we didn't mention in this poll too, to be clear. Anyway, number 4 is Dirindil, number 3 is Fenax, poor Dirindil, only 3%. Come on, man. Not that bad of a champion. Number 2 is Magnar. Number 1 is Genbo, receiving almost 50% of your votes. For good reason. He's also my favorite epic nuker in the arena, and he's pretty dang good in PvE, excuse me, as well. A few shout-outs here. Get a lot of requests for Genbo. Satal Shan says, can you do a guide on Genbo? I got him from Prime Gaming. So did a lot of people. Louise asking for a Genbo. We got Kemley asking for a Genbo. Again, Prime giveaway. Satili Shan again. Lil Eon, please give him some honor. Do a guide on Genbo. Absolutely. And Eternal Wonderland Tarot says, hey, Ash, love the content. Can you please do a guide on Geomancer, Genbo, Black Knight, or Yoshi? Thanks in advance. Well, you're welcome in advance. Well, actually, you're welcome in real time, for me at least. Anyway, we'll do a guide on all those champions because I actually like I like Yoshi, I like Geo, obviously. I even like Black Knight, so expect guides on all those champions in the coming weeks and or months here on the channel. With that said, let's go ahead and jump in to the most recent Genbo the Dishonored guide. Genbo the Dishonored Shadowkin Epic. Again, this guy's an absolute monster. Let's take a look at his kit first. And I'm going to redo his masteries with you guys so I can kind of talk through my perfect arena nuker masteries. So his skills on his A1, first of all, it requires 9 freaking books. That's ridiculous. Hate that. Hate that. The only bad thing about Genbo the Dishonored is how he's going to dishonor your wallet or your time with all those books on the A1. It's awful. Anyway, 2-time hitter. Each hit steals all increased attack buffs. Each hit also has a 30% chance of stealing a random buff that gets booked up to 50% chance. So you do need accuracy to steal the random buff, but the increased attack buff steal cannot be resisted. Thus, the only reason you would need accuracy on this champion at all is if you really care about having the extra chance of stealing a random buff, which personally I don't care about. Specifically for arena builds, I will be building him with no accuracy. At least I won't be prioritizing accuracy in any meaningful way on this champion because we're already stealing the increased attacks anyway. It can't be resisted. On the A2, an AoE attack, a very hard-hitting AoE attack here. I have good old Hades.com pulled up to take a look at the multipliers. It is a 4 multiplier here, but it's better in a way because he has a self-buffing ability on his A3, which we'll talk about in 1 second here. So a 2 multiplier, a godlike rating on the A1, and a 4 multiplier on the A2, according to Hades.com. So on the A3, this is what makes him one of the reasons that he's so freaking good. He's placing an increased crit rate and an increased crit damage for 3 turns on himself, and then granting an extra turn, okay? We love that because for the arena, we only have to build him with 70% crit rate. That's going to allow us to just stack up tremendous amounts of crit damage on this champion because the threshold of the crit rate just isn't there. And then, because we have so much crit damage on this champion, the 30% increased crit damage is going to scale really nicely, and he's going to deal some serious damage, especially considering he only has a 4 multiplier, which is around the same as like a Foley on his Sealed Fate, his A3 ability. So anyway, Flinty, which is an interesting name of a passive. I was like, am I reading this Flinty? Is that what it's called? Flinty. Immune to decrease attack debuffs. That's great, right? We don't want to decrease attack on our nuker. That's no good. Will ignore unkillable buffs when attacking under an increased attack buff. So if we're setting him up with a Gorgorab, setting him up with an Arbiter, which you should be setting up your nuker, especially on a speed, kind of a metal farming team for your Great Hall, you should be setting them up with an increased attack champion and ideally some turn meter boost as well. That's a perfect setup to a nuker on an arena team. Again, I'll repeat, a turn meter boost for your nuker and an increased attack, right? So that's a great little passive there to add to an already amazing kit. He also has 20% speed in arena battles. So hey, if you're lacking a good arena speed aura, well, you got one right here in Genbo the Dishonored. Masteries. So I'm going to walk you through quickly, guys, my favorite masteries for nukers in the arena. I have a video coming out. Some of you guys are going to love it. Some of you guys are going to hate it because it's a little dirty, pay-to-win whalish. But I'm going to show you my 3 best arena teams, and I'm going to get super in-depth. It's going to be like an hour-plus video. We're going to really analyze every build of every 12 champion of my top 3 arena teams, and then after that, I'm going to have a video coming out on my free-to-play speed farming to get a bunch of medals for my Great Hall arena team. So 2 big arena videos coming out in the next, I would say, 4 or 5 days, so be on the lookout for those. So because we already have his total stats at 72% on crit rate. See, 72, 285 on crit rate and crit damage here. We already have enough. We hit our 70% bar or threshold, so where he's going to be 100% when you add the increased crit rate to him already. And also, he's void affinity, so we don't have to worry about any weak affinity matchups on a nuker. That's fantastic, okay? So back to it. We don't need the crit rate, so why get it? Don't need it. We're going to take the attack instead. If I did need the crit rate, if I was at 65, 66, 67, whatever, I would get the crit rate, obviously. We're going to get Shield Breaker. Increase damage inflicted to targets under shields by 25%. That's a massive damage increase. Definitely pick that up. There's a lot of shields going around in the game right now. Keen Strike, going to be a must-have. That's going to take us to 295 on the crit damage, creeping up on 300. Ruthless Ambush, a must-have. Increased damage inflicted by 8% for the first hit on each enemy. Now, for your Arena Nuker, the first hit, hopefully, is going to be your only hit. They're going to be dead, so we want that extra 8%. Now, if we have a champion like Cornelia, a champion like Prince Kymar, setting the table for our Nuker, or anybody, I mean, it could be Syl the Drakes, right? Anybody with a stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, petrification, we definitely want Opportunist too. That's another 12% damage increase. Do some quick math here, guys. We're talking about 12% here. We're talking about 8% extra damage there. That's 20% extra damage on the first hit, and we're not even done yet. We're going to pick out single out. That's not that important, but bring it down. Increased damage inflicted by 6% when attacking targets with higher max HP. Well, that's almost always going to be the case because he's a squishy nuker. So that's another 6%. Now we got 26% extra damage. That's really, really big, okay? Don't need to tell you guys. We're going to go ahead and pick up Methodical, increase the damage inflicted by this champion's default skill. Okay, not a game changer, but we're going to come down and pick up Helm Smasher. And this, my friends, is my favorite Arena Nuker build. You can go with Blood Shield if you want to, or you can pick a different, you can, we'll cover a different option. I don't mind coming down with Blood Shield. I also don't mind picking up Kill Streak there, but I particularly like coming down with Defiant, increase a little bit of resistance here. We want to pick up Improved Parry, decrease the damage received by this champion by 8% when this champion is hit with a critical hit. It's almost always going to be critical hits in PvP. And then it's almost not going to be critical hits, almost always not, in PvE content. So for the arena, we'll pick up Improved Parry. We'll come over here, pick up Bloodthirst, and then we'll come down, pick up Delay Death, and then we're going to come down and pick up Retribution, chance of counterattacking when this champion loses 25% of their max HP from a single enemy skill, and we're going to pick up Deterrence, 20% chance to counterattack when to an enemy when they apply a stun, sleep, all the CCs to an ally. So these are my personal favorite Nuker masteries, no matter who your Arena Nuker is. Of course, read them all, go with what works for your account. As I always say, never just blindly copy stuff, but those are my faves. Anyway, so now we're at 72, 295, and keep in mind, we're going to be adding another 30% crit damage to this. That's like 90 extra crit damage. That's insane. He's going to hit super hard, guys. We have 4769 on the boots. Now, if I wanted to build him much slower, maybe as a nuker on a go second team, or if I had enough protection, if you're lucky enough to have like a bunch of bolster sets or a stone skin build, something weird, basically a way to keep him alive in order to go on a slow build, you can go with attack percentage, or if you just have a god-like account with a bunch of speed gear with amazing speed substats and crit damage and crit rate, end game essentially, you can go attack percentage on the boots instead. However, for the vast majority of you guys, I would just go with the speed on the boots. We want attack percentage on the chest. Again, we're looking for crit rate, crit damage, even a crit damage with no extra rolls on it, 5%, it's all going to add up. And keep in mind, he does have that buff too. Crit damage, crit rate on the gauntlets, right? And then we are looking again, crit rate, crit damage. Crit rate, crit damage. and crit damage, trip roll, and crit rate. And I don't have them all glyphed out either here. I purposely tried to not pick any legendary artifacts. Sorry for the helmet. Other than that, though, we went with attack on the banner. We went with crit damage, obviously, on the amulet. And then we went with attack substats, most importantly, on the ring. So there he is, guys. Again, very squishy here at 27k, but we don't care so much about how robust, how tanky he is, because if he's doing his job right, he's killing him. He's killing him on the first shot, right? All right, guys, time for a quick arena run. I'm going to run him on a team that I would normally use to speed farm my Great Hall. So it would be a speed team. I'm using a speed or a lead, an arbiter on this case. She also has increased attack, which we spoke about before. I feel like I'm going against Stone Skin almost every arena battle, especially as you get to like gold 4, 5, and platinum. So for that reason, I like running 2 buff removers, the Abyssal Gaze on Kaimar and the Midnight Ritual in Madame Ceres. Both prioritize Genbo. We don't have to do anything in terms of presets either. We're going to start against a kind of tanky team here. They have Arbiter, Krisk, Mithrala, and Valkyrie. You have to be careful of Valkyrie because she could cut us in line with that stupid passive. All right. So we're going to come in here, CC them. Everything's looking good so far. We're going to go ahead and place these debuffs. And again, we don't have to worry about affinity here. We're going to go ahead and let's turn meter boost here. I should have gotten Genbo a little bit faster, but we can actually go, because Arbiter lapped him, if you didn't notice that. But we can go with the A4 and boost him up, even though we're not reviving anybody with Arbiter. Anyway, self-buffing with the A3, coming in here with the Heartless Blitz, and dead, everybody. Thank you very much. Next. Very, very good. All right, let's go against this squad here. UDK, we get Pythion. Dude, I really love Pythion, man. I think he's a beast of a champion. I'd love to do another video on him, but then I think I said pretty much everything I need to say about the dude on my first video that I did on him. Either way, I love him. Love him, man. Him and Nishak and Mighty Uko, like those are some, and UDK, like all these free or fusion champions, I should say, more accessible champions have been amazing. You see that Heartless Blitz, though? You see how much damage he is putting out there, guys? It's significant. It's a lot, and I really, really love him. Let's go against this team here. Now, they have the double damage mitigation. Both Duchess has decreased allies take by AoE attacks by 25%, and then they have it with Pythion, too. Another decreased damage for each buff up to 25%. That's a potential 50% damage mitigation, and no doubt they have Stone Skin on Mortu Macabre as well, so I might lose this one, but let's just have some fun, right? Let's have some fun. It's fun to try, at least when I'm recording. Normally, if I was like running this team, I might just skip this battle because I'm not sure, you know? Usually I like to know that I'm going to win going into it, but I think it's fun sometimes when we're recording videos to try, at least, right? So we take down Lydia. We don't take down either of their revivers. That kind of sucks. But let's just go A2 here, reduce the duration of some of these buffs. Everything got resisted, of course. But we have Seal of Magic. We can do it all over again here. So we get Turn Meter Boost. We're going to go into Madame Ceres, remove all these buffs from them. We're going to go ahead and Turn Meter Boost with the A3 here. And then we're up again. We'll refresh those buffs anyway. Come back in and almost... Mortu Macabre, man. Easy, bro. Genbo's the star of the show. Be easy on him, dude. Let's do one more battle, guys. Let's do one more battle. Let's go against... Man, it doesn't... Ooh. All right, listen. I think we're going to lose this one. I'm so freaking scared of Taurus. Taurus the Fierce scares the hell out of me. I'm going to be real with you guys. I think I still want Acrisia as my most wanted champion, but I think Taurus is now number 2. What an amazing champion. Let's see if we can kill this team. Boom. Okay. Whew, that did barely hurt anybody. Why did we not do any damage with that attack? I'll tell you guys why. Because Ursaga, we have the damage mitigation passive that we spoke about on Duchess, right? Look at Taurus. He's going to nuke us all down. Hey, we're going to end this one with a loss. But, oh! At least I was able to demonstrate why I'm scared of Taurus, man. Dude, that guy's nasty, dude. He's so nasty. I'm so scared of him, man. Listen, it was a formidable team here, but Ursaga has this passive. I can't click on her? Really? Really? I can click on her if I go back to the team. Ursaga, for those of you who don't know, has this passive that's just insane for damage mitigation. Decrease the damage all allies receive from critical hits by 30%. She'll receive that damage instead. So she has that damage mitigator there. We have all incoming damage from skills reduced by 50% on the Taurus damage mitigator. And then we have the damage mitigator of Duchess of 25%. So talk about insane damage reduction there. That's why it felt like he barely tickled them on that nuke. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video has helped you out. We talked about Genbo in the arena in today's video, but I will say, I'm not sure if I said it before, I'm old and I'm losing my memory, I'm losing my mind, but he's really good for a nuker and PvE content as well, and you can kind of run him in the same build, provided you can keep him alive. If he's dying as your nuker in dungeons, in PvE content, doing tower waves, whatever, nothing wrong with sacrificing some attack and putting some HP or defense on his rings, even his chest, his amulet, or his banner as well. So, you know, what good is a nuker if he's dead and he can't do damage for you? Hopefully you've enjoyed this guide, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.